Welcome to OffRoad Outlaws, guys, and today we're going to be checking out the new update. Now, this update dropped, I believe, yesterday, if you're watching this video on Friday, and what this update includes is actually quite a few new trucks. So, just in the dealership alone, we have this brand new Ford, we have a brand new, F450 dually. I'm guessing F350, F450, obviously it's not a licensed Ford, but you can see it's basically a brand new 2020 F350, F450 dually. Now, we also have this Toyota pickup, which is really cool to see. We'll be doing a build on that. We also have an XJ, which the XJ is oh my god, my heart, it's here. And then we also have this Chevrolet, which I feel like a lot of people are going to be really, really happy that this Chevrolet is here because you don't see too many of these on the road anymore, especially ones in good condition. So with that being said, we're actually going to jump into our first build, and that is going to be not that, it's going to be the Ford dually. Now, obviously, this is the one that everybody's sort of really hyped about. This is the one that I've been really hyped about, and I'm not sure whether or not I want to do well, let me rephrase this. I wasn't sure before I started recording this video whether or not I wanted to do sort of a monster build or if I wanted to do a hauling build, and I think for my first one I'm going to do a monster mud truck type build, and then in the future we're going to be doing some towing builds and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and pick it up. Now, once we get our hands on it, obviously we have a ton of stuff to go through, but it's a beautiful, beautiful truck. I don't know why it zoomed all the way in right there, but it's a beautiful truck. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to do, but with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the upgrade section and max the guy out. I mean, I'm talking max it out, max it out. So, all the way up to stage 5 engine power, boom. And we're also doing max grip, weight reduction, all of that stuff is going to be taken care of. And it says diesel swap, but technically, I mean, swapping it to diesel would really just make it authentic because, if you're getting a F350, F450 dually, you're going to be getting it with the Power Stroke, at least most likely. Unless you opt for that new, I believe they have a new gas motor coming out for these heavy-duty trucks, but the numbers on it weren't all that impressive. So we're going to go ahead and build the durability as well all the way out. And might as well throw an e-brake on it for good measure, and we got to make sure we throw a full Stage 4 turbo on it as well. And with all that being said and done, we're going to go ahead and go to the tuning side of things. Now, tuning-wise, we're going to go ahead and throw a monster suspension into this thing. I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all right now. It needs it. Well, it doesn't need it, but for our purposes right now, it needs it. So, we're going to go ahead and install this thing. Monster suspension installed in the front. We're going to install it in the rear as well. Monster suspension done and installed. Now, we have to go ahead and go back and actually build the suspension up. So, let's go ahead and build everything up to max and also build everything up to max in the rear. And as far as axis width and travel and all that stuff goes, I want to do a bit of a balanced build. So, I'm thinking travel is, 1.1 is maxed, and then, see, I feel like it looks a little bit better at 1.0, but keep in mind that even though we're going to the max on travel, we're going to be putting some giant tires on this thing, so it won't look like it skipped leg day for very long. Bear that in mind. Now, I do want to also give this thing some rear steer, because I feel like if we're going to go all out on a brand new truck, we might as well go all out on a brand new truck. So, axis width, I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to go all the way out or if I want to do I'm going to start at 0.5, and if it's not wide enough, we'll come back and mess with it. So let's now handle the shock size. Let's make sure we're in the front because I want them to be just a little bit bigger. I'm thinking 1.3, and that's where I'm going to put them in the rear as well. So 1.3. And then we're going to go back and we're going to do wheels and tires. Now, obviously, we have to change the wheel and tire type, but that's something we will be able to do a little bit later. So let's do wheel radius in the front. No, sorry, the front. And bump them up to about, I'm going to say 1.6. 2.0 is a bit big. Let's do 1.6. And then we'll do a width of 2.0. And then I think, obviously, from there, we can mess with the tire types themselves. But 2.0 looks really good. So wheel radius is going to be 1.6 in the back as well, with a width of 1.9, 2.0. Keep in mind this is a dually, so that's going to be a little bit awkward. We might need, well, right at a 1.5 in the back, our tires do not hit the shocks. And since I'm trying to make this thing fairly clean, I'm going to do it so that the tires don't hit the shocks. So now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and bump up the wheel size just a little bit, like the rim size. And I'm going to put it at, I believe, like a 1.2. 1.2 is not much bigger, but it's just big enough that we can kind of offset the size difference a little bit. So now we're going to take it to the dyno, and I'm going to go ahead and slap a tuning pack and a perfect setup on it, and we're going to go ahead and run the dyno and see what she makes. And that left us with 1,186 foot-pounds of torque and 705 horsepower, which ain't bad at all. Like, literally, that ain't bad. So I'm going to go ahead and now do a little bit more in-depth customization and see what kind of extra upgrades we have available to us, because it's already looking like a very capable, very well-sorted truck. So we're going to go ahead and swap out. I want to swap out the tires first, because I'm not too happy with, obviously, like, the tires that we have on it right now. So I mean, if I'm making it a mud truck, I should probably go with these. Yeah, I should probably go with these if I'm making it a monster mud truck. So, let's see. Oh my god, that is nuts. Dude, and that looks so good. Now, the shock clearance isn't much, but it's enough so it doesn't clip. And when you have tires clipping through the shocks, it doesn't really look all that great, in my opinion. And I think you sort of find yourself in a weird situation. So, let's see. What kind of wheels themselves do we want? Ooh, those look good, but those look really beefy. Very military style. I'm thinking I kind of want something a little bit more. Ooh, I like that too. But, like, I don't want something too show truck, but, like, I like that. That looks really good. Oh, my God. With the bead locks, that looks sick. It's very, very military truck. So, let's see. Spoke color. I want to mess around with this a little bit because I don't know if I like that. I like that, but I mean, it kind of just hides the wheels themselves, and I don't know if I like that or don't like it. Maybe, let's see how it looks after I try to match the bead to the body color. That I kind of dig. That I kind of dig. Okay, I can get behind that. With the bead matched to the body color, I can kind of get behind that because it's not, like, too ridiculous. But I think when we back up and actually look at the truck, yeah, I'm a fan. I dig it. I'm a fan. So let's go back now and see about applying well, before we do that, actually, we have front bumper options and other part options to go through. I think we went with a really balanced lift and tire size. I think it looks really, really good. And I think it's, like, not too much lift, but also not too much tire. And I don't think it looks goofy and cartoony. I think we did honestly, I think we did a pretty good job with it. So I think for the sake of the fact that this truck's new, I'm going to stick with a new front bumper that comes with it. Fender-wise, obviously we can do fender extensions, or we can have them cut. We don't need them cut. I'm actually going to stick with the stock fenders because we don't need them cut. Now, rear bumper-wise, yeah, I'm still not a big fan. Running boards, I think I'm going to go with these just because the truck is so big. And roof lights, oh, that's sick. You could have, like, you have the dual sunroof. That's really cool. I'm debating on the light bar. I'm not sure on it just yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and run it just because this thing is so highly modified. Now, spare wheel is not really going to matter. Windshield protection, front lights, that just kind of looks out of place and weird. Winch, I'm going to throw the winch on it. And a jack, not going to make any difference, really. Exhaust pipe, we can do a stack in the back. We can do dual side exhausts. We can do a single or twin hood stack. I might be down for a twin hood stack. Well, single hood stack. I'll go with a single hood stack. And headlights, they're going to be white for sure, like white HIDs. Gun rack repair pack. And I think that'll be good. I mean, I know that we didn't really do too much to the truck visually, but I think what we've got is a really clean package. So I'm going to go ahead and apply everything. And now comes the really fun part where we get to drive it. So it looks really, really good. And I think we could maybe bring that front axis width in just a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. I think... Oh, no, not change. Tune. Let's take the front... Take that axis width and bring it in to, let's say, a 0.3. That looks a little bit more reserved without being too far in. So I think I was just a little too wide, and it sort of offset the dually look in a weird way. But now that we've got that set up, I think it looks really good. So let's go ahead and head for one of my favorite testing maps, and that is Woodlands. I know it's a very simple map. I know it's a very simple, like, default map, as it were. But I think it also provides a lot of really good testing opportunities because you've got water, you've got mud, you've got rocks, you've got, you know, normal trails. So let's take a look around this truck. Now, obviously, we've got four-wheel steering, and the four-wheel steering will really help us when we get into some tricky situations. But now that we're looking at it in the wild, I think it actually, not only do I think it looks really good, but I think we went with the right axis width in the front and the rear. And I'm glad we went with the skinnier tires in the back because, obviously, you know, those two skinnier tires are going to be wider than that wide front tire because you're dealing with a dually setup. But I think, in the end, I think it's a really good-looking truck, and I think we did pretty well with it. So now, enough rambling on about it, let's see how it drives. Now, I'm going to run it with diff locks off first, and see how she does in 3, 2, 1, let's go! It's not slow, that's for sure. It's not slow at all. Things actually pretty quick. I mean, especially for a big dually. I can't complain. I can't complain at all. You're dealing with, like, a big dually that's got, you know, gigantic tires. I don't even know what these would equal to. Like, they would probably be the equivalent to, like, a 50-something. I have no idea a 50 what, but a 50-something. I don't know what, like, a 50 what, but a 50-something. So, let's go ahead and reposition the camera. And follow cam, free cam. I should have probably just left it in free cam anyway. Alright. Lock the diffs, and let's take off. Let's take it through some mud. Ooh, slow down, slow down, slow down. Didn't slow down quick enough, but that's okay because we didn't hit the rocks. Alright, mud time. Show me what you got. Go. That's high. Yo, she just chugs, man. Dude, that's super good. That's really reliable, really, like, consistent. Reliable's not what I meant to say. Consistent's what I meant to say. Let's just go back again the other way to make sure that wasn't, like, you know, a weird one-time occurrence. Dude, it just chugs. That's floored. Low RPM, and it just uses that torque to shove itself through the mud. I mean, there's really not a lot of trucks that will do it that smoothly. And my God, is it fast. Yeet. Like, just straight into the mud, and it just churns. Wow, look at that. I wouldn't even recommend putting it in low. It does so well. I mean, obviously you would probably put it in low in other scenarios, but actually, let's try low here. Ah, it's too slick. You could probably go a little bit faster in the mud if you feathered it in low, but not by much. Yeah, there you go. Throw her back into high. All right. Now let's see what the suspension feels like when you try to drive it fast. Oh, it cleared the river. Woohoo! Oh! Well, all right then. I'll take that, like, master tree avoidance. Actually, it was more lucky, but... Dude, I'll tell you what. Might not be, like, it might not be a buggy, it might not be a trail rig, but dang, does it sometimes go like one. I was just imagining a, you know, fairly decent mud truck in my head, but nothing, you know, nothing too crazy, nothing too insane. And, God, this thing really delivers. It delivers way more so than I thought it would. Let's see how this goes. Oh, boy. And go! Come on! I don't know if it's better to be, like, floored and high at low RPM or, you know, high RPM and low in a section like that. We'll find out. Man, once it gets out of the mud, though, boy, does it take off. Oh, jeez. Stop! Oh, no. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to get that checkpoint and then drive around. But then again, I also don't know the line. Oh, God. Complete this route. Gold bonus 10 times. Oh! Okay. Apparently, that's a new route that I don't know about. But with that being said, I really like this truck. You guys need to, if you don't have the update already, you have got to get the update and you have got to get this truck because this thing is absolutely mega. It's so good, and y'all have to get your hands on it and put it in your garage. But hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I'll be hanging out and chatting with you guys down there. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. And I'll see y'all next time for more Off-Road Outlaws and SnowRunner, if that's something you're into as well.